Hello, hello, hello. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? I'm trying to use like a headset with a mic here. I'm not sure if that's working out or if I should just speak directly into the computer or what. But let me know if y'all can hear me. Yes, y'all can hear me. Great. Okay, so hello y'all. Let's see who's in here. Ruben, missed you with your your sexy voice self. Lord Father, thanks for that. Hey, Beyonce wig. What kind of name is this? Hey, Sherry from the city. Taya Watkins. Thai. What is that? Basil, as in the spice? Basil. Hey, Clark. Hey, Nat. Hey, AJ. um, Hello, all of y'all. Listen, I just hit the live button and I was quiet for a little while because I'm like, oh my God, what if nobody comes? It's always terrifying when you go live and you have to wonder, is anybody going to show up? Am I embarrassing myself right now? Can I just sign off quickly before anybody notices? But then I see people start to come in and I get a little more confidence. So thank you for whoever is still rocking with me and showing up to my random lives. It's been like what? I think it's been like a year, at least a year since I've been on here. I know it's been months. Raquel says, I hope you keep this live up because I'm at work and I want to watch the playback. I'll leave it up. I will leave it up. So I don't know how many of you on here follow me on Instagram, but I did make a post on Instagram about my intention to start back up this channel. So that's what this live is about tonight. Because your life has been lifing, okay? So where to begin? Where to begin? Basically, let me just say, you know what? Let me just say thank you to whoever still shows up and listens to me ranting and stuff because it's like after so long, I'm always surprised that people still come in, people still have their notifications on and stuff. And I'm just like, y'all make me feel like, okay, people still are interested in what I have to say. So basically, how do I put this? A lot has been going on in my life lately, right? And a lot has been going on in Trinidad. It's not just unique to me. I don't know if anybody here is from Trinidad. Is there any Trini person in here right now? Because I feel like they will identify with what I'm about to say. Clark says, yes, it has been at least a year. I know, right? So I see Marvelon Jacob says, yes, I'm assuming this person is Trinidadian. Okay, so the context to what I'm going to share tonight is basically Trinidad is fucked up, okay? Trinidad is just like there's no diplomatic way to say it. We and shit. We and shit. So we had a change of government about a year ago. And I would say like I did not vote because I felt like there wasn't any particular party that, you know, appealed to me at the time, but now I regret that decision. Anyway, so we had a change in government, and basically, I'm trying to choose my words very carefully because you don't know who could possibly come across this video. Basically, things have changed. Things have changed. And there's a lot of like closures, like companies are being shut down. A lot of people are losing jobs. A lot of people being laid off. A lot of people not having their contracts renewed. And all of this is directly because of the change in administration. And I would say like, I am in danger of that also happening to me. So I was sitting, I'm not going to go into detail because, like I said, you never know who could come across these things. So I'm not going to go into detail. But I was sitting thinking, like, okay, I need to pivot. I need to find things to do, probably like outside of my area, because even okay, so my background, my degree, my experience, everything is in journalism. I've been a journalist for 10 plus years, and that's why I feel most comfortable. But a couple years ago, I saw like a trend, like media companies starting to close down, retrenching workers, stuff like that. So at the time, I was like, you know what, I need experience, I need exposure in other fields. And that's when I made a decision to make a total switch in career. So I switched to communications and PR. And that's what I've been doing for the past couple of years. I have been working in communications in a particular company. And, at the time, I was glad that I did make that switch, because when I switched, I was earning more. I think it suited me. It was fun to do. I was doing something different. I had more time actually with my kids, with my family, because journalism is very demanding. The hours are very grueling. Like, news is 24/7. Whenever it happens, it happens. So my hours would be like crazy. And then I worked on weekends and holidays too. Actually, I worked every Saturday for 9 years straight. I could not have a social life on a weekend when I was in the media. So when I left the media, I was actually happy. Things kind of slowed down. I had, regular working hours, 8 to 4. I had time to come home, be with my kids, stuff like that. So I was happy with it. And then along came elections and a change in government and things going in a certain direction. So, yeah. So then I was thinking, you know what, I need to like possibly make another career switch, because I'm not going back to media. Actually, media has been so like it's been really concerning. I have a lot of friends, a lot of people I know that I worked in the media with who are unemployed right now because companies closed down. There were two major media companies that closed down in the past year. We have three main newspapers in Trinidad, and one that was operating for like 30 plus years just shut down. And a lot of my friends, a lot of my colleagues found themselves unemployed. And that's one of the reasons why I don't want to go back to media anyway, because it's like it's harder to get in now, because you have a whole bunch of talented media workers who are unemployed and also searching, and there's very few companies hiring. So the competition just to get back into the media is going to be crazy. So I'm like, you know what, that's a dead end day. And then I'm like, okay, so let me look for something else in communications field and stuff like that. So I have been sending out applications, going on interviews, the works. So I'm just like waiting to hear back at this point. And I'm like, you know what? I need to find other creative ways to earn an income. And then I'm like, you know what? I have a YouTube channel. I made money on here before. Let me start this shit back up and see what could happen. And that is the context. That is the context to me deciding to start back this YouTube channel. And like I talked about it with my family and stuff, because when I was on YouTube before, y'all, it was intense. And that was part of the reason I quit, because you can talk about a topic and it offends somebody, or you all know fans and stands and stuff, they get really crazy and they start attacking you, and it takes a toll on you mentally. I got doxxed on here. I got people threatening me, a whole bunch of shit. So when I decided, okay, well, it was a source of income, let me try to start it back up. But then I was like, do I want to deal with all that mental stuff again? So somebody actually told me, and it's so funny that that's kind of guided my decision to start it back, because somebody told me, basically, you can't be scared of what people will say. You can't be scared of people not liking what you have to say, because scared money don't make no money. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. So yeah. And actually, the funny thing is, so I haven't been active on here for a few years. Like, I would pop in and do a live every once in a while. but I haven't been active on here. So I was wondering, okay, how has the YouTube landscape, the YouTube streets changed since I've been on here? So I went to do some research and I was looking up like some other YouTubers that I used to watch when I was back on here to see how they have changed their channels or updated their channels, stuff that I could learn from. And I went to Daytime Tea Time's channel because she was one of the bigger YouTubers back when I was on here. And I did notice that she has left as well. She did kind of pivot into like a Christian sort of podcast, and it seems like she has left a while. But I clicked on one of her videos, and she was talking about the same thing that I was just saying, like doing the celebrity commentary and stuff. It got to her mentally. She started like thinking like, this is very dark. This is very, it could be very evil sometimes. Y'all see the stuff that went on here. So I was looking at that video and she was like, yeah, it became too much for her. And I identified with everything she was saying. So I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to start back this channel, I am not going to be, like, I don't want to be in that dark kind of space. Like, I want to talk about topics, give my opinion and stuff, but I don't want to get involved in beefs. I don't want to be like, dragging people and that nasty kind of commentary. It's just going to be like me breaking down stuff and giving my opinion. I don't want to be the sort of controversial, like, y'all know the type. You all know the type. I don't have to explain it, but that's not going to be my style. I feel like I've gotten older, obviously, since I was on here years ago. And I would like to think that I've matured a little bit. I'm still a little shady, but I would like to think I've matured. So I think like it wouldn't be the same. Like I'd still be like, throwing a little shade here and there, but I really am not interested in beefs and all that kind of stuff that went on before. So yeah. Before I go on, let me just read through some comments. Erica says you've got some splaining to do. Well, I just splained, okay? Where were you while I was splaining? But the past few years, like, it's been busy. I have 2 kids, 2 boys. They are teenagers now. And one actually just graduated high school. The other one is graduating next year. So that's what I've been up to, just being a mother. Oh, my personal life, like, has been in shambles. I don't even know where to begin. So I left a relationship at the end of 2024. It wasn't a pretty breakup at all. Like, police had to be called. Dude smashed everything in my house. It was intense. But I got out of that situation. And I'm dating somebody new now, but that's none of your business. So let's move on. But that is like, a lot has been going on in my life, okay? Hey, Charles. Hey, India. Hey, Sherry from the city. Hey, Raquel. Raquel says, I get so excited when I see that you are live. This is a rare treat. Well, you're going to be sick of me soon because I'm going to try to be on here a little more regularly. I am facing impending potential unemployment, but I'm not unemployed yet. But if I do become unemployed, I'll be on here a lot more regularly. But for now, I'm trying to do like some edited videos like on weekends, and then like during the week, maybe come live at least once during the week. I don't think during the week I would have much time when I get home from work. But during the weekends, I'll try to do some edited videos on different topics. You'll just tell me, what you want to hear me talk about, whatever is going on in these YouTube streets, in celebrity land. Actually, I want to do a lot of local commentary too, because Trinidad has some juicy topics. Trinidad has some juicy topics. If there's any Trinis in here, you all will know about the whole $500 cookie debacle that's going on right now. I really wanted to talk about that too. So, and the local content does well. Actually, the highest viewed videos on my channel ever has been local related stuff, like things about carnival, things about just stuff that happened in Trinidad that went viral. So I want to incorporate a lot of local stuff in it too because I feel like that would do well. Hey, Paula. Uh, I think I went far back in the comments. Let me scroll down a bit. Bougie Bobby, hey! Bougie Bobby and AJ are like the day ones. The day ones. They always here whenever I come live. I appreciate you all so much because if nobody else shows up, I know I have at least 2 viewers, okay? MJ said I had to triple check my notification. I know, right? AJ says, don't come to America. This current office is not very immigrant friendly. Well, I I think our countries are probably like in the same boat right now. Like I don't even know what to say. I don't like to talk about politics because like I said, I do have a professional life and stuff, and you never know who will come across these videos and put 2 and 2 together and realize, this is this person. So I don't like to talk about politics. I don't like to talk about politics at all. But we'll see. B Charmer says sounds like the US. Yep. I think everywhere is going through it right now. But to me, I've never seen my country like this. I've never seen Trinidad in this state before. I have a lot of friends who, at the beginning of last year, they were stable, things were going good, and now they're unemployed. They're sending out applications, not hearing anything back. People actually, and it's that bad where there's been thousands of job losses where people are like, the suicide rates, depression rates spiked because people just feel desperate. And that's what's going on, and it's very concerning. Bougie Bobby says you guys are exactly where the US is. We have been going through this for about 10 years, more or less. Wow. Maybe I'm just like, I had my head in the sand or something. Maybe this has been going on for a while. It just never affected me. Well, now it's affecting me. So I'm feeling it like directly. Hey, Robbins. Hey, Nessa. I don't even know how to pronounce this, but hey, you. Jay's thoughts. Is it Jay's? Jazz? I'll go with Jay's, okay? Oh, Bougie Bobby says, I was just telling her that sounds like the US is going through what Trinidad is going through. But y'all at least have like the I don't know. I don't know your countries, so I don't want to make any assumptions, but I feel like it's a bigger, more like stable economy than Trinidad is. We are a very small country. We rely a lot on like tourism and oil and gas and stuff, and even that sector is in a mess. I don't even want to go there. But I feel like y'all have the more stable situation than us right now. Sabrina says, we need something new. I don't even click on just messy channels. You got this. Thanks for that, because I was thinking like, okay, so a lot of people subscribe to this channel because I was talking about mess. I was talking about drama, and that's how a lot of people found the channel. So then when I want to talk about actual topics that I'm passionate about, I'm thinking, is anybody want to listen to that? Because it's like, that's not what they subscribed for. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just do it and put it out and see how it does. Clark says, well, Camille, the good thing about all of it is you can make it whatever you want. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, the most I could do is try. There's no harm in trying. She's So Sweet says, is that the guy you told us about the last time you were on? When was I on? Hang on, let me go back to my channel and see what date I was on the last time. So the last live I did was 9 months ago. Okay, yeah, probably. If I talked about him in this live, then yeah, it's him. because we have been dating since hmm, the end of 2024. Yeah. So it would have been him. So yeah, we still like going strong, which is crazy to me because, like I told y'all before, I have been with one guy since I was 19 years old. And that is the guy that I ended things with back in 2024. So it's like, I don't know, it's like a whole change. I felt like I did not know life without this person. And now I'm experiencing like what a real relationship is supposed to be like. Mind you, even though like I ended that situation a year and a half ago, this guy still would not leave me alone. From time to time, I still get like messages cursing me out. I still get like he's crazy, okay? I had to put up cameras and stuff all around my house just because I'm like, this guy's crazy and I need to protect myself. Yo, leaving a man is never easy. It's never just okay, you go your way, I go mine, and let's be adults about it. It never goes that way. Ugh, I have not known peace since I left that relationship. It's crazy. She's so sweet says you can look for remote US jobs. I am exploring everything at this point. And the sad part about it is that I would like to think that I'm an educated person, I'm a qualified person, I have experience, and even with all those things, it's very, very difficult right now to find jobs in my field. So I could imagine people who are not as qualified, not as experienced, how difficult it might be for them. Because if somebody is going through this with all these like qualifications and stuff and still having these kinds of difficulties, yo, it's a lot. And then because my older son, he is 17 now, he's gonna be looking into like university and stuff soon. And I'm like, I don't even know how to advise him in terms of what to choose, what to study, because it's like you would like to tell your children, follow their passion, follow their dreams. But the way things are right now, I really want to just tell them do something that is guaranteed to make you like secure. This is not the time to pursue music and arts and writing and that kind of stuff. Now is the time to pursue IT and like technological stuff, medicine, law, stuff like that. But things that you just have a passion for, creative industries and stuff, that's not the way to go right now. And I feel really, really guilty because it's like you have to crush your children's dreams to force them to be practical because you know where that is going to go. Like I don't want my kids to be in the position that I am in now. So I'm trying to get them to be practical and whatever passion they have, do that on the side, do that as a hobby. But now is not the time to be all fairy tale about it and think you're gonna have a good life following your passion. I followed my passion. I love to write. I love journalism, and look where that got me. Okay, I should have studied law. I should have been a lawyer. If I could do it all over again, I would choose something different. But I went with what I had a passion for. She's so sweet says you definitely had your head in the sand because there's nothing stable about the USA right now. Unemployment is sky high, everything is sky high. So this is a global problem then because my God, it feels like it's just so difficult to live. You do everything right. You go to school, you get your education, you do everything they tell you you're supposed to do, and you still end up struggling. So it's like, God damn. B Charmer says we stayed because we like you. Oh, thank you. I feel so loved. Miss Kimmy says, congratulations to your young man. Thank you. I posted a photo of him from his graduation on Instagram. He looked so handsome, if I do say so myself. I have very good looking children. They took after their mom, okay? And the funny thing about it is, I posted that picture and I didn't even realize Cardi B still followed me on Instagram and she liked the picture. So, of course, I ran home and I showed my son. I'm like, you are not going to fucking believe who liked your picture on Instagram. And he's like, who? I'm like, Cardi B. He was like, no way. That made his day. That really made his day. He bragged to all his friends and stuff about it. But yes, I have a young man. I don't have a child anymore. I have a young man, and he will be heading to tertiary pretty soon. She's so sweet. Wow, you are day one too. If you remember me talking about my garden on here, you go way back. She says, we stuck around when you were doing your garden. We don't care what you're talking about. We're listening regardless. And I really, really, really appreciate that because it's like, I don't know. I told y'all before, like, I don't have a lot of friends in real life. I have a few close friends. I'm not a person who, like, I'm not very social. I will talk to people, but I'm very introverted in real life. And I don't make friends easily. So then when I come on here and I get to talk to people, that's like my social interaction for the day, okay? That is how I socialize. Hey, Andre. She's so sweet, says, tell him to focus on his kids and leave you be. Listen. Listen. That is a whole other story by itself. How do I put this? You know, there's a type of man who how to say this? There's a type of man that if they can't be with you, they think their responsibilities as a father no longer exists. That is the situation I'm in, where he feels like, okay, well, we're not in a relationship anymore, so fuck them kids. basically, long story short. So yeah, I am pretty much a single mom, which I always was because he didn't help much when he was around anyway. So that is my situation. And he helps with nothing. Somebody told me put him on child support, but my kids are 16 and 17. It doesn't make any sense to me anymore. One will be an adult soon. So it's like, you know what? Whatever. I got this far with them on my own. I'll figure it out. But yeah, he's not present. He's not in their life. He's not contributing. He does nothing. She's so sweet, says, tell him his undergraduate degree needs to make him employable soon as he leaves school. Yep, his postgraduate can be his passion. Like right now, I'm figuring that out with him. And then next day, I have to figure it out with my younger son because they're back to back. I don't know why I had kids like that. I had one year, and boom, I got pregnant again and had the other one the other year. So they're 16 and 17. And I have to do things back to back. I don't get a break. Bougie said the US is dusty right now. Wow. Well, you know, they saying one man's trash is another man's treasure because I am pretty sure a lot of Trinidadian people would rush to go live in the US right now just to get away from what is going on here. So y'all count your blessings. She's so sweet, says, I remember you telling us that, but I thought he changed. You thought he changed? Do I look like a hoe? I just go through men? No, it's the same guy. It's the same guy. And I think like if things doesn't work out with this one, I just want to be alone. I don't want to be like I I feel like I'm at that age where I don't care about having a partner anymore. If it doesn't work out, I'm fine being by myself and just focusing on my kids. Mocha Sweet says, "Hey Camille, are you still gardening? Hope you're doing well." Not really. Actually, I paved over my backyard. It's total concrete now, so I have no garden space. I just didn't have the time for it. But I do have like some like plant pots where I grow like seasoning. So I still have my little seasoning garden, but that's about it. She's so sweet says you were young and didn't know better. If this is about my ex, I agree. I agree. I was 19 when I met him, and it's like I was 19, he was 27. So he was a lot older than me. And I don't know, I guess, when you're young and hot, that was my situation. And I felt like I knew very soon into it, like 2 or 3 years into that relationship, that I did not want to be with this person. But then by that time, I had kids, and then you're thinking, like, I can't leave. I have these two babies. I don't want to split up the family. And you get trapped in a situation. So I ended up in a situation for 17 years that I should have left after like 2 or 3 years. Don't be like me, y'all. Bougie Bobby says, I got to do a little research on Trinidad, see what y'all got going on over there. We got nothing going on. We struggling. We in shit. That's what we have going on right now. It's like the place just got, like heavy. Like there's this heavy darkness that I feel in this country right now that I've never felt before. There's like this sense of like dread and this sense of like hopelessness. Like, y'all, in the past year, since we've had this administration change, they've increased taxes on damn near everything. They've increased fines. And I'm not talking about small increases. So they've increased like traffic fines. So before you might get a speeding ticket and pay like, I'm just throwing out a number. Let's say a speeding ticket would cost like about $500. Now it's like 2,000. That's how much they've increased it. And it's just like, it's crazy. Things are shutting down left and right. Government agencies being shut down, people being sent home, a lot of businesses closing down because all of these policies are affecting them. And a lot of people, I saw an article recently that said like something like 40 or 50,000 job losses over the past year. That's crazy. So I I just don't know the direction my country is headed right now. It's scary. She's so sweet says, no, you told us about the first guy not being helpful, including the whole car situation. Thought he saw the light after you didn't go back to him. Ew. I don't even remember having these conversations. That's how long it was ago. Hey, Summer Dreams. Bougie Bobby says, so y'all got the same thing going on that we got going on. I feel your pain, my trini sister in the struggle. We struggling together. But that's crazy because it's like I've never experienced this before. Struggling like this is new to me. I've experienced struggle, but not like this. Not like this. Where it's like you're actually scared now. You're scared like what's going to happen next. I've never felt like a fear like that before. Hey, Rochelle. I'm glad that you're back. You were missed. Thank you. Y'all, let me get back to the topic I came on here to talk about, which was the fact that I'm going to try to start back this channel. So, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start putting out stuff and hope it does well. And y'all just help us to start out. Like, share, view, do whatever. And let me see if this could actually generate some sort of income. Um, I think like I was saying earlier, I want to talk about local stuff too. I don't know if I don't even know if that would have an audience to talk about like the economic stuff that is going on, like the political stuff. But maybe if I see something interesting enough that I feel like is important to talk about, I'll just put it out and see what happens. And well, y'all let me know what topics y'all want to hear me talk about. Y'all can message me on Instagram, let me know what's going on, what is trending, suggest topics and stuff too. Hey, Sarah. Victoria is blessed, says we will show up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know it will take a while. I'm sure the first bunch of videos that I do is gonna flop because it's been this channel has been dormant for quite a while. So I'm sure like YouTube is not going to like push anything right away. I have to get back in that algorithm or whatever they call it. So I'm sure like my initial comeback is not gonna do well. I'm going to flop. I'm going to flop badly. So we'll see. And actually, I'm not even monetized on YouTube right now. I have to make up. I lost the monetization because I was not, you know, uploading any content and stuff. I have to make up the watch hours and stuff to reach that threshold to get monetized again. So we will see. I give it a few months to see how it goes to get monetized and start to pick up and stuff, but I'll give it an actual good effort this time. She's so sweet says, I'm sure you've been demonetized. Yep, due to your reduced posting, gonna have to post like mad to get it back. Um, I looked at the requirements today. It says I have to make up 4,000 watch hours. And actually, I'm almost halfway there because apparently people have been watching old videos. Like, I just left the channel up, and I guess people have been coming across the old videos and watching it. So it's almost at 2,000 of those watch hours already. She's so sweet says, you will not flop. I will try to choose topics that I feel like will do well. So we'll see. AJ says you'll get the watch time in no time. I hope so. I mean, it's not much further to go. And then we'll see if I'll get remonetized. Bougie Bobby says, do you have any ideas about things you want to talk about? Actually, I do. So well, obviously the female rap stuff, because I am genuinely interested in that. That is something that I follow and I'm entertained by. So obviously, I'm still going to talk about that. And like anything trending, anything that is that seems like people are interested in it. Um, Local stuff as well, like I said earlier, because Trinidad has some drama too, Trinidad has some drama. Caribbean stuff as well, because there's some interesting Caribbean topics. I saw Shensia was in some drama earlier. So it's not gonna be like a drama channel, but it's not gonna be like a nasty drama channel. It's just good whatever is happening, I'm just going to break it down, give people the facts. This is what is happening, and then give my opinion on it. But that kind of commentary where it's like you're antagonizing people or you're attacking people, it gets the views, it gets the attention, but that's not me. And I feel like at my big age, that's not what I want to do. So, yeah. Current events, yes, but like entertainment. I don't want to get into like, I don't want to get too newsy. I don't want to talk about political stuff. I don't know. I just want to stay away from those things. So it's gonna be like the entertainment, celebrity stuff, and well, trending topics. So sometimes something goes viral. It's not celebrity, but it's still like something people are interested in. Y'all tell me what are some of the hottest topics right now? Like what's happening? Bougie Bobby says, let's talk a little bit about that beef between India, Ari, and Young Miami. First, do you like that song? The song is everywhere. It's not that I like it, it's just like it's catchy and it's everywhere. So it kind of sticks in your head. And now it's like I'm humming it or singing it everywhere. I'm just like, boost them bitches where you're at. Go, go, and that go, y'all back. Stand that shit. I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her. She got like, a little boost to her music career off that song. People, this has been a rough couple of years for her too with the whole Diddy thing. I don't know. Like, I didn't think she would be able to come back from that, but I guess it's working out for her. She has a hit on her hands. Happy for her. I'm actually happy that she got one before JT. Okay, that's shady. But I like that she did it on her own too. I think that's the most important thing that she did this, and there's no bigger artist pushing the song. There's no remix. There's no nothing. It's just her. So whatever the song accomplishes, that's her personal achievement, and nobody could take that away from her. Nobody could say, well, this person gave her a hit or that person gave her a hit. She did this all on her own. Bougie Bobby says the song is everywhere. I hated it in the beginning, but exactly that's what I said too. It's like I didn't really like it. It wasn't my thing, but it's like when you hear something over and over and it's everywhere you go. You're hearing this song, it kind of sticks in your head, and next thing you know, you jam into it too. So that's what happened with me. Ooh, this is a very good topic because I've been seeing this all over. What are your thoughts on Trim allegedly copying Nicki Minaj? Now, should I speak? Because it's like, I mean, it's kind of obvious, right? Like, I listen to her, and I don't know if it's deliberate, but there is something going on there. I will probably do that in a video, but it's like, there is very much a similarity. Just the way she, like, pronounces things, the whole animated kind of personality, the hairstyles, the hand gesture. I don't know if she's doing it on purpose or if that's just her and it's a big coincidence, but there is a clear similarity there. That song is stuck in my head. Yeah. She has the proverbial song of the summer. Oh, another topic I wanted to talk about along this whole female rap line. I saw what's her name again? I can't even remember her name. Posted on Twitter saying female rap is really boring right now. Jessica Dime. Jessica Dime posted female rap is really boring right now. And then I saw Coil Ray reposted agreeing with her. And I'm like, I want to talk about this because y'all are female rappers and y'all are saying female rap is boring right now. That's a self drag because why are y'all not making it interesting? This isn't like you and me, regular people, just looking on saying it's boring. Y'all are in the industry. So if it's boring, you all come and show us how to make it interesting again. So I just found that very interesting. I wanted to talk about that. I don't know if by this weekend that topic will be stale because that is when I will actually have time to sit down and edit a video. But that was something I wanted to talk about. Andrea says, doesn't change the fact she supports Diddy and said she would abuse her son for being gay. I don't know about the second part, but the whole Diddy thing, like, I really genuinely did not think she would be able to come back from that. It's like, she got a lot of hate. And I'm like, yeah, it's over for her. And I don't know if she has actually like broken ties with him now. I know she had written like this letter of support for him when he had his whole case going on and stuff. And I don't know, people think she's still communicating with him or probably still involved with him behind the scenes. Who knows? But I mean, we'll see. Sabrina says, I think she's playing a character. Possibly. I mean, it's getting her attention, so it's working. You know what I will say? Like, I'm not. She's not my cup of tea because she sounds so similar to that other one. I can't listen to that. So she's not my cup of tea. But what I do like about her is that even if she's trolling, if she's playing a character, whatever it is, she has this attitude about her, like, yeah, I'm here. I'm the princess now. What you gonna do about it? And that is exactly how like Nicki Minaj came in the industry doing to Little Kim. So it's like, okay, now somebody's coming out and they have that same cockiness and that same like, the same formula. She's trying to make it work. I don't know if it will work for her, but we'll see. I like the fact that she's doing it and she's just like, what you gonna do about it? It seems like she's targeting Ice Spice because it's only, to my knowledge, it's only Ice Spice that kind of brands herself as this princess of rap thing. And I don't know, it feels like for anybody to make it in that industry, you have to have like some sort of conflict. There has have to put you against somebody else. Nobody ever just comes in and makes it just being themselves, staying out of trouble. So this is it's probably is a character that she's playing because this is how you get into this whole industry. Can't blame her if it's making her money. More power to you, girl. Andre says Nikki herself is a copycat, but don't claim that people copy you because you're the queen and get mad for seeing said similarities. Any thoughts about the Cat's Eye split or however they spell their name? I don't know anything about these people. I don't follow them. I don't know much of their music. Actually, I think I only know one song, um, Gabriella. I think that's the only song I know from them. I don't know much about them at all. So I can't have any thoughts on this. I haven't followed this. She's so sweet, says, still haven't heard the song from Young Miami. Well, you must be living under a rock. Because it's like everywhere I go, like every time I scroll, something comes up playing with playing that song. You go out, you're hearing it playing somewhere. Actually, my boyfriend is in a steel band. He plays pan, and that's one of the songs that they were playing. And it's just like this freaking song is everywhere. It's like an airworm. Bougie Bobby says, I'm shocked she was able to survive the Diddy drama. I mean, Diddy survived his own drama. He'll be out soon and back to regularly scheduled programming like nothing happened. You probably have and didn't even know it. It is huge. Don't look for it though because it will be stuck in your head. It's interesting too because a lot of people are criticizing this song because they said like it's promoting a certain kind of lifestyle. Why are we promoting this to young girls and stuff like that? So that's a whole other conversation. I saw India Ari brought that up, and then there's this whole like counter argument that okay, why is everybody targeting this song? This isn't the first song that is promoting like degeneracy. It's not the first song like that. So why are they targeting Young Miami all of a sudden? So that's a whole interesting debate. And then I saw people saying like the male rappers, they rap about robbing and killing and selling drugs and a whole bunch of shit, and they don't get that kind of backlash. Sabrina says she's not my cup of tea, but I wish her well. I can't get into some of Dochi's songs. Um, I think the only Dochi song I know is Anxiety because that was everywhere. I've never actually gone and just Let me go listen to some Doechii today. I've never done that. If I hear a song of hers, it's because I heard it playing on the radio or something. She isn't really my cup of tea, though. Sabrina says they will throw Diddy a party. And we know what a Diddy party is like. Diddy played his cards right before the cops got him. He made that post listing all the celebrities and politicians that attended his parties and look at the results. I have not gone that deep into the rabbit hole, but maybe it is something I will look into for content. But I have to do research because I don't want to talk about something that I'm not too familiar with. Clark says young Miami herself said that that is not the lifestyle she wants for her daughter. Well, I mean, no parent would want that for their child. But I mean, it's music, it's entertainment. What do they want people to rap about? Because think about it, right? Yes, you want more positive music, but people are going to the clubs, they're going to a party, they want to dance, they want to have fun. Nobody wants to listen to Jesus music in those kind of situations. They want to hear turn up music. This is the kind of music they want to hear. So I feel like they make music for certain audiences, but the audiences that it is not made for are the ones who are like, oh my God, this is so terrible. It's such a bad example for the kids. The kids are not supposed to be listening to begin with. That song is not for them. It's not meant for you. I just feel like, okay, I get the argument. There's a lot of like negativity and stuff in music, but nobody's forcing you to listen to it. It's the same thing in like, it's not just music. It's like, okay, let's take pornography for an example. Nobody thinks that that is something positive, but you can avoid it. If you don't want to see it, you don't go looking for it. Just live your life and don't partake, don't consume it. That's the way I see music like this. If it's not for me, I just won't listen. But clearly, there's a huge audience for it because look at how popular it got. It's climbing the charts, it's blowing up everywhere. So clearly, it is for somebody. Somebody's enjoying it. If you don't enjoy it, just move along. It's not for you. Um, so, what else is there to talk about? I had asked earlier if there's any Trinidadian people here familiar with that whole $500 cookie situation because I feel like that's topical and I want to make a video about that. There's these people, like local influencers, right? And they are selling cookies, like gourmet cookies, for $500 per dozen. And people are all up in arms about it because they're like, what is so special about these cookies to be that price? Now, a regular cookie might cost you like, let's say you can buy a pack of cookies in a store for like $20, $20, $30. But here these people are selling a dozen cookies for $500 and it's caused this huge debate and people have been dragging them. And I just found it interesting. It's like very interesting. But then they came back and they said they are actually selling out. People are buying it. Business is good. So clearly there's a market for these $500 cookies. She's so sweet says you were missing with the Cardi B album and tour. I think the last live that I did was right around that time. Actually, I came on because I wanted to talk about her album. We waited so freaking long for it. I could not miss that moment. So I think I did come on to talk about her album. I enjoyed it. My favorite song from that album was, let me see if I could sing it. I hope that you're on your way. That is my favorite song from that album. Yep, $500 for 12 cookies. She's So Sweet says, lots of people talk about Love Island. I don't watch it, but I'll watch a review out of support. I have not seen a single episode. I must be the only person in the world who has never seen this ever. I don't know how many seasons, but I've not seen a single episode of a single season, and I will keep it that way. I'm not interested. I don't know what it is about. It just never appealed to me. But you see, House of the Dragon, that's my show. That is my show. Sabrina says people just like giving their money away. I guess it's a sort of status thing too. Like, y'all, when Starbucks came to Trinidad, everywhere you go, you're seeing people walking about with a Starbucks cup. Sometimes you wonder, like, they didn't even just buy that; they just pick up that cup from the garbage somewhere, and they just want to walk about with it because it's a status symbol to be able to afford Starbucks. I feel like these cookies are something similar. People just want to be able to say, look at me, I bought $500 cookies. Not me. $500 is enough to pay a bill. I'm not buying any damn cookies for that price. Ayanja, Ayanja says, good to have you pop in again, sis. Thanks for stopping by. AJ says, I can't even think of any celebrity topics. I'm out of touch. I know, right? And that's why I feel like even I, from when I was on YouTube before, I matured a little bit. I matured a little bit. I used to be like very, very into all these drama things. And now I'm like, a lot of it I'm not aware of. Or maybe it's just because I haven't had time. You know, when you're working a full time job, you have kids and stuff, I haven't had time to just go through celebrity news and see what's happening. But I'm going to have time on my hands soon. Oh, Clark. Clark says, have you seen her new BF? No, please don't tell me it's this Nigerian guy. I was scrolling on Twitter earlier today and they're shipping her with some Nigerian footballer guy or something that she was seen talking to. And I'm like, oh, dear God. Everybody she talks to suddenly becomes a romantic partner. Y'all, leave these people. Leave these people alone. AJ says, I don't watch Love Island either, but I'm not sure how people get so invested in it. There has to be something good about it. You know what reality show I'm into is Love is Blind. Like I watch that, the US version. I never watched any of the others, but I really, really love that show. So I don't know, maybe it's something similar. Maybe I should give it a try. Who knows? I might get into it if I watch a couple episodes, but I just never was interested. Or maybe we should go live and watch it together. Just stream it on here and watch a couple episodes together and see if we'll be into it. Sherry says, count me in. What is this about? Count me in for what? I lost the plot. I'm not sure what this is referring to. She's So Sweet says, honestly, I think you had a shift in mindset when you had a change of partner. Possibly. I don't know if my personal life is going to bore you all, but I let me give an example, right? Maybe I would have said this in the previous live some months ago. I don't know, but this is just an example of how different this guy is to my ex. So when me and my ex split up, and like I literally had to call. Well, as a matter of fact, I didn't even call. My kids called because they were so scared. They called the police, and the police had to literally physically remove him because he had went on this rampage throughout my house, destroying everything, appliances, My laptop, I had a brand new laptop at the time. I had purchased it like just a couple weeks before that incident. He smashed it. And I'm just grateful because I had my work laptop there as well. He just didn't see that one, or he would have smashed that one too, and then I would have had to pay to replace the people and them thing. I'm so glad that he did not see my work laptop. But anyway, he ripped the TV off the wall. He smashed the fans, every plate. I had no plates to eat off of. Every plate in my kitchen was destroyed. Everything made of glass in my kitchen was destroyed. My microwave. Y'all, I still have pictures from that. Maybe one day I will show y'all the destruction that individual caused in my home. So I literally had to, it's like I was rebuilding from scratch. And oh, I don't know if I had mentioned this too. So apart from just destroying stuff, I had a cat. I had a cat at the time. So I would buy like chicken liver that we would cook for the cat. So I had some frozen chicken liver and I'd actually put it in the sink to thaw because I was going to cook for the cat. And that man was so disgusting. In that whole rampage, he took the chicken liver and he smeared it all over the walls. And I couldn't clean that off. I had to repaint the whole house because it's like blood, stuff like that, smeared all over the walls with this chicken liver. It was crazy. He did a number on my house. So around the same time now, the guy who I'm seeing now, he was actually somebody that I knew through work. We don't work for the same company. He worked with another company that is sort of partnered with my company on a particular project. So that's how I met him. And I had known him before this whole situation with my ex. We were just friends, just talking and hanging out and stuff. And when this incident happened, like, I didn't know who to call. I didn't know what to do at the time. This is a friend of mine. I didn't know what to do. The night I actually called them up and I'm like, this is what happened. This was after the police came and everything. And I'm just sitting here in my wrecked house, not knowing what to do. And I called up my friend and I told him, this is what is happening. I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm scared because I don't know if my ex is going to come back. And he was just like, you know what, Camille? I don't feel like you're safe there right now. You don't know if he's going to come back. Take your kids, go to so and so hotel. I will pay for the room, everything. You'll stay there for the night and just get yourself together. And I was just like, nobody had ever done something like that for me before. So I was just like, okay. At this time, this is not somebody that I'm romantically involved in or anything. He was just doing that as a friend. And then, like throughout that whole recovery process, he was just there. So, oh, another thing is that my home flooded out. Like the entire downstairs area of my house was flooded because some plumbing situation happened and it was just spraying water everywhere. I want to believe my ex, like he sabotaged the plumbing in my downstairs toilet area, and that is what caused that. So I just came home one day and the entire downstairs area is flooded out. I didn't know what the hell to do. So he had called me and he was just checking up on me and asking me how things are going. So I ended up like taking a video of what was going on with the flooding and stuff. And he's like, what the hell? And he sent a plumber. He paid for the plumber, everything. And he said, the plumber will come check it out and fix it and everything. And he really just sprung into action, fixing up stuff in my house. This is a man that had never like so much as kissed or anything like that. And he was doing all these things for me. And he would have given me, so for Christmas in 2024, he sent me a gift. He actually came and he delivered it to my job. And he put it, like he gift wrapped it and everything, and he put a card. And when I opened it, it was a blender. It's gonna sound so silly. It was a blender, like an actual blender that you make smoothies and shit in. It was a gift wrapped blender because I had been talking to him about all this stuff that my ex destroyed. And I remember telling him, I don't even have a blender. He destroyed my blender. So for Christmas, he gift wrapped a blender, brand new blender, and he gave it to me. And the card said, this is something along the lines of like, I know it's not much, but it's a small gesture to help you rebuild the stuff that you lost. And I broke down and cried. It was Christmas Eve, and I was on the people and them job, and I was crying with a blender on my lap, and my coworkers were looking at me like the fuck, because it was like, it was thoughtful. It was very thoughtful because he could have just given me like, like a box of chocolates or some roses, but he saw like a need, like a practical need, and he's like, and the note that came with it, it was very touching as well. And then I started looking at him differently, like, okay, why is this guy doing all this for me? We're not romantically involved. We're not like, we haven't done anything or anything like that. We had some flirtatiousness, but it wasn't anything to talk about. Why is he doing all this for me? Why is he investing in me like this? And we had a conversation about it, and that's when he was like, well, I always had, an interest, but I never thought you would be interested in me and stuff like that. And I'm like, at the time, I was not looking to get into a relationship because, come on, I just had a serious breakup with somebody I had been with for 17 years, the father of my kids. I really was not looking to get into a relationship. So, and I told him that. I said, you know what? We's big people, so we can have fun. I literally told him that. I said, we can have fun, but I'm not looking for anything serious. And he said, well, okay, but when you fall in love, you'll tell me something differently. And I was laughing at him like, fall in love? No, let's keep it casual. We just having fun. And that's how it started. Now, to hear my ex tell the story is going to be a whole different story, because to him, he believes that I met this person and started seeing this person while we were in a relationship. And that's the story he's telling everybody, that I cheated on him and that's this person. But this person was just a friend, and this person helped me through the aftermath of the breakup, and that's how we got close. My ex has his own version of events. So that is a story. And then so I have teenagers, and it was kind of difficult to like introduce them to this person because they've never seen me with anybody else but their father their entire lives. So at first I was hiding the situation. Y'all, I want to say something right now that don't judge me, okay? So I'm gonna get judged. My kids would be in their rooms, and I would sneak this guy into my room without them knowing, and he would spend nights and stuff, and they didn't know. And we snuck around like that for a few months without them knowing. Actually, there was one time, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. There was one time, my younger son, he wanted to I can't remember what it is, but he came and he knocked on my door. He wanted something. And my boyfriend was there. This time they hadn't met him yet, so I didn't want them to meet him like that. So I told him he had to hide, and he ran into the bathroom and he hid like literally behind the shower curtain. And my son came in and he was talking to me about something, and he was in my room. My younger son was in my room for like an hour, and we were talking about something he came to me about. And the entire time, this grown ass man was hiding in my bathroom, and my son did not know. And then when he came out, he looked at me and he was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, you either tell them that you're seeing somebody, let me meet them, do this like an adult, because I'm not hiding in a bathroom again. And that's how I ended up telling them, okay, well, I'm seeing somebody. I would like you to meet him. And I introduced him to them. They did not like him at all, obviously. He went through the whole, teenagers, like, you're not my dad. You can't tell me what to do. they, he went through all of that with them. And actually, I tried to break up with him because my kids didn't like him at all. They were just like, they didn't want him around. And I told him, you know what? My children are more important to me than you. Sorry, but you have to kick rocks. And he actually sat me down and he said, okay, but your children in their late teens, they will be adults soon. You can't allow your children to make decisions about your relationship. It's either you want to be with me or not. And he said, your children will grow up and they will have their own wives, their own families, and they will leave the house. And you will be here alone because you gave up your chance at building something with somebody else because you didn't want to offend them. And he said, like, yes, I get it. You love your kids. You want to do what is comfortable for them, but you can't allow them to control your life. So I had the conversation with him and I'm like, this is my life. And y'all can't tell me nothing. Y'all can't tell me I can't date anybody. And I'm doing what I want to do. And I put my foot down. And eventually they came around and now they're very, I wouldn't say they're very close, but they are respectful. They're respectful of him. He takes them to school, um, like school events and stuff. He shows up. Actually, my son graduated earlier this month. Well, no, last month because we were in July. My son graduated last month. And because of everything that I'm going through, I'm trying to figure out, okay, how to manage finances so that I could get him his graduation outfit. I could pay for the tickets because they went to this fancy hotel and stuff, and it's very expensive. And I'm trying to figure out how do I do all of this while dealing with all my other bills. And I actually reached out to his father and I said, okay, if you want to contribute, your son is graduating, this is what he needs. His father never responded. He read my message. I messaged him on WhatsApp. He read the message. He never responded. And then this guy, the guy that I'm dating, he stepped in and he said, you know what? I will handle it. And he actually chipped in and got my son his graduation outfit and stuff. And that's how he went to his graduation because a man who's not his father spent his own money to make sure that my son could have that experience. And it's just like, I don't know, a lot of things about him. He's very unselfish, he's very generous. And even talking about it, it makes me feel like crying because it's like these are not his kids. They have been very, very rude to him. In the past, they have told him, like, we don't want you around. You're not our father. And they've been very rude to him. And still he steps up in that way. And it's just like, okay, this is a good one. And like I said earlier, like if this doesn't work out with him, I'm done. Because then I would trust no man ever again. I feel like you can't be doing all these things and presenting yourself in such a good way and then you turn out to be bad. I would just feel devastated and just be by myself for the rest of my life. So yeah, that was a long ass rant about my personal life. um Sabrina says, oh, he was mad, mad. Glad you're doing better now. Yeah, he was. It was crazy. He even stole my car. It's a whole long story. A whole long story. Um, Sabrina says that was so nice of him. Um, right, because you've got to live your life. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like when you have children, I felt very guilty because I felt like, okay, they just lost their father because of me, because I didn't want to be with him anymore. So now the whole family's broken up. And because I didn't want to be with him, he disappeared and he decided he's not going to be in their life. So, and then not just losing him, they lost that entire side of the family. So his parents, they don't check on the kids anymore. Mind you, these are people who would have been in and out of my house. They would come spend holidays, Christmas, weekends, always in my house. But as soon as I broke up with him, they all just kept their distance. I tried reaching out. I reached out to his mom. I said, the kids haven't heard from you in a while. I could send them to spend time with you all. She blocked me. They just weren't interested. So it's not like they just lost their father. They lost their father's entire side of the family. Aunts, uncles, cousins, they haven't seen in almost 2 years. They don't check on them. They don't come visit, nothing. So, yeah, it was hard. And I guess, like, seeing me with somebody else, I don't know if they took out some of that anger on him because they put that man through hell. Sabrina says, that's a good man, Savannah. Good night, ACBT. Bougie Bobby says, I'm so sorry your kid's dad and his family are acting like that. That's terrible. Yep. And you know what's funny is that, so my kid's godfather is actually their father's best friend. This is a man who has been in their lives since they were babies. And he actually lived with us at one point. So they were very close to him. They call him uncle and everything. And after the split happened, never heard from him again. And it's like, okay, what the hell? And then recently, like a month or two ago, he stopped by. He wanted to check on them. He asked me if I needed anything. I don't know. I feel like sometimes when I worry about things going on in my life, God just makes a way. Because at the time he came, my stove actually broke down. And so I would turn on the stove, and when you light it, it would be like you're lighting like a flamethrower. It just goes like whoop. So I was always scared to light that stove because I'm thinking one day it's gonna blow up and we're all gonna die. But I couldn't afford to get a new stove at the time. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, this guy, their godfather, who I hadn't seen in like a year and a half, he just reached out and he said he was thinking about us. He wanted to come check on them and stuff. And he came and he asked me if there's anything that I needed, anything he could help with. And I was joking. I said, well, I need a new stove, to be quite honest. And he was like, you know what? I'll get you the new stove. So he got me the stove and pretty much disappeared again. So he just showed up at a point in my life where I needed a new stove. God sent somebody to get me a stove and then he disappeared again. It's that crazy. But recently again, he reached out and he was like just checking on them. And he did tell me, he said he basically stayed away because his best friend, my kid's dad, asked him to basically have nothing to do with us. And he felt like that's his friend. He have to respect his wishes. And that's what happened. So I assume that's what happened with that whole side of the family as well. Like my kid's father probably told them to stay away too. It's crazy. But I think like years from now, they will look back at that and they might regret it. They will think, whoa, we really shunned these kids. We really pulled away from these kids because of a situation that had nothing to do with them. Like a man and a woman broke up, that has nothing to do with the children. You don't have to have a relationship with me, but you could call and check in on your grandchildren. Like that's your grandkids. I think years from now, they will look back at this and realize how stupid that was. And by then it will be too late because who knows, the children might have some animosity and stuff towards them because of it. Andre says, I can't believe there are people like that who exist. The dad would be blocked and could never say anything to me ever again. That's cruel to do children that way. Like, whoa, all bad people, so no loss. And you know, from this experience, I actually thought to myself, and like, I had to like admit it, like, I realized he never wanted children. To me, having children was a way to keep me. Like he just wanted control of me to make sure that I could never leave. And that's what I feel like these kids were to him. I don't think like he genuinely wanted to be a father. And that's why it was so easy for him to walk away when the relationship ended, because he never wanted them. That's just how I feel about it. And then, well, my current boyfriend, he has no kids and he wants kids desperately. He talks a lot about wanting to be a father. And that is something that I never heard my ex say. My ex, I've never heard him say, I want kids. I can't wait to be a father. Nothing. But my current boyfriend always talks about how he wants kids. And then that's another situation by itself, because this might be oversharing, but I did get pregnant and I had a miscarriage. So that didn't work out. And I tried to break up with him then, because I was like, okay, I have kids. Mind you, I had a miscarriage before. So I've had multiple miscarriages in my lifetime. So I'm thinking maybe I just can't have anymore. But he wants kids. So you want to be a father so bad, and that is something that I probably will never be able to give to you. So I tried to break up with him and tell him, you know what, go live life, go find some fertile woman who could make you a father, because clearly I can't. And that is that is a topic in our relationship right now, because he keeps saying that, you know, he cares about me, he wants to be with me, but then I feel like I'm preventing him from having this family that he wants, because I truly don't believe that I could have more children. I've had 3 miscarriages in my lifetime. So I think like I've accepted the fact that I maybe cannot have more kids. I'm fine, because I have 2 sons. I've experienced raising children. I'm okay with that. But then you're with somebody who has no children of their own and they want children very badly. And he's saying that he's okay, he just wants to be with me. But then I feel like we'd get older and he would look back and regret it, like, wow, I could have had kids with somebody else. And I would feel guilty. I would feel like I prevented him from having that. So it's like, life is so funny and ironic sometimes, because you finally find somebody who is everything that you wanted in a man, and then there comes this problem. There's always something. So I feel like I will have to put my big girl panties on at some point. As much as I care about this guy, I don't want to feel like I've held him back from having a family, because when I met him, he was very, very excited. He talked a lot about wanting to be a father. And it's like, yeah, that's an emotional topic for me too. It's a lot of heavy stuff going on in my life, okay? So AC says, your kids will be fine with a supportive mother. My paternal family ditched before I was born, but come around when it's convenient. Yep, the children will remember that. I so agree with that last part. I don't have to say anything, because another narrative, my ex has spread so many rumors about me. Another narrative, he's telling people that I am keeping him away from them. You choose to not be there. You every time, like, okay, let me be fair, he has seen them twice in the past 2 years, and both times I was very uncomfortable. I sent them outside so they could sit like in the porch area and stuff with him, because I didn't want him in my home. I didn't want to be near him. He threatened me before, so I don't even feel safe around him. So it's like, I facilitate him to see them, but I don't want him around me. And he's only seen them twice. And he's telling people the reason why is because I am making it difficult for him to see them. So I am now getting the blame. And it's like, you know what? I just allow him to say whatever. I allow him to spread whatever rumors, because children are not stupid. They observe things, they see what's going on, and they will remember. I don't have to say anything. he tells people that I like get in their head and I turn them against him and stuff. I don't have to say shit to them. They are 16 and 17 years old. I cannot force them to think anything. They are observing and they're making their own deductions and have their own opinions. And when they pull away from him because they are realizing for themselves, wow, this man ain't shit. And when they pull away on their own, I get the blame and he says, I turned them against him. It's crazy. Sarah says, I'm sorry. Andre says, sorry for your loss. Thanks, y'all. I don't even feel, this was sound harsh, but I don't feel as emotional about this last one because I experienced it twice before. So when it happened the third time, I was like, okay, I was prepared for it. I feel like after two, you start thinking, okay, maybe something is wrong, and you accept that it could possibly happen a third time. So when it happened, I was prepared for it. It didn't surprise me. I was just like, okay, it happened. I think it was hard on him. It was very hard on him. And it was, well, physically, it was hard on me. Mentally, I'm okay. Physically, that was a terrible, horrifying experience. Andrea says, do you want more kids? Funny thing, I always wanted more kids because I have two boys, and I always said I want to have a girl. I want to experience what it's like to have estrogen in the household instead of all this testosterone. It is hard to be the only female in a household, okay? I always wanted a girl. And it so happened in 2020, which was my first miscarriage with my ex, I got pregnant. And I was kind of scared because at that time the relationship had already started breaking down, and I'm like, okay, do I want to have another baby with this guy? I will just feel like trapped again with him. And I was really, really debating keeping it or not. I'm just being totally honest. I was really debating whether I should keep it or not. And then I'm like, you know what? You always wanted another child. Maybe this will be the girl. If that's what God has in store, just go for it. But for about the first, let's say, month or so of that pregnancy, I was not excited about it. I was not planning on keeping it. I was just like, my mind wasn't in it. I wasn't into that pregnancy. And then when I talked to God and I prayed about it. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to keep this baby. This could be the girl. I always wanted more children. Let's go for it. And when I made that decision, literally like a couple of days later is when I had the miscarriage. So it's like, I don't know. I felt like maybe I put too much negative energy because before I didn't want it at all. So I felt maybe the baby sensed that it wasn't, welcome. And that happened. I had a lot of guilt about that for a very long time. So that was the miscarriage that I had in 2020. And looking back, maybe it happened for a reason, because I don't know what my life would have been like if I had a third child with this guy. I would have felt even more trapped. Maybe I would not have been able to leave the relationship, because actually when I had my two boys, that's how I felt. Like I could not leave the relationship because they were so young. I don't want to break up the family, stuff like that. So maybe if I had that baby in 2020, I would not have been able to leave. So it happened for a reason. AC says, sorry about the miscarriages. If he can love your children like his own is the best. And he does. Like the things that he does for my kids is like, you could tell he would be a great father. And he does, like, how to put it? He does a lot for them, but there's always in the back of my mind, yes, he's there, he's present, he's acting in that role, but at the end of the day, he is not their father. These are not his children. So he may love them, but at the end of the day, He wants that experience of having his own. And he just came into my life. They were grown teenagers at that point. He hasn't had the experience of raising a baby, changing a diaper, stuff like that. And he wants those experiences. So, yeah, it's not the same. Andre says, with the experience with your ex, it's time to prioritize yourself. If he wants kids, then that's good for him. But what does Camille want? I like I said, I always wanted more kids. I wanted a daughter. I wouldn't mind having another child. But currently, given the whole job insecurity situation and stuff, I think it would be irresponsible to have a child right now. I don't even know if I would have a job by the end of the year. So I am not going to go out there and get myself pregnant right now. So it's like, yeah, that's on a back burner. But I wouldn't mind eventually. Hey, Simodian. Simodian says, late for the party. Listen, the party done and we was talking as at a as at a depressing shit right now. We were talking about abusive exes and miscarriages and stuff. So the party is very depressing right about now. You joined at the wrong time. Actually, the whole life was depressing. We were talking about unemployment and the economy, and yeah, this was not a party. This was a pity party, okay? This is not that kind of party. Sabrina says Tammy was in the situation, but they're still together. I wanted to work out for you. I know that he's not the kind of guy who would just leave me and say, okay, well, you can have a baby, so I don't want to be with you. He won't do that. But then I would feel guilty. I would not feel comfortable in the relationship because I know how much it means to him to be a father. And if I cannot give that to him, I would feel like I am taking something away from. I don't think I could be in the relationship, honestly, because every time I look at him, I would just be thinking like, wow, I am just stealing your life and your dreams and your hopes. I wouldn't be able to be comfortable with him. Bougie Bobby says there are so many ways to family. My dad was there every single day, and I still feel like my mom was a single parent. I feel like that's my situation too. Like, so with my ex, right? How do I put this? He lost his job years and years and years ago. And since then, he never worked again. He never worked a proper, stable job. He would do like odd jobs here and there, but after he lost his main good, stable job, he just like, I don't want to say he got lazy or anything. I feel like mentally it took a toll on him. I want to be fair. So you're a man, you can provide for your family. You can contribute in that way. You start looking down on yourself. You start feeling inadequate. You start feeling depressed. And he started like smoking a lot of weed and stuff. And to me, maybe that was just a coping mechanism. And I tried. It's not like okay, the moment he lost his job, I just like up and left. I tried with him. I held things down. I handled all the bills, everything alone, and waiting for him to get back on his feet. And he just never got back on his feet. And even that I feel guilty for because I feel like, okay, am I disloyal? Am I like because he fell on hard times, I just the relationship broke down. But it's like, how long do you have to wait for somebody to get on their feet? And it's not like I didn't try to help him. I would find opportunities for him, and he would just be like, he's not interested in that. He doesn't want to do this. And at a point, I got very resentful because now I'm working, I'm handling all the bills, I'm holding everything down. At one point, I was working like 3 or 4 jobs at a time. I would freelance, I would do side gigs and stuff in addition to my main job just to hold everything down while he got back on his feet. And he just never got back on his feet. So I think we were together 17 years total. He lost his job like 3 years into it. So for the greater part of that 17 years, I was basically holding everything down alone. And then why I brought up this topic is because Bougie Barbie said her dad was there every single day and she still felt like her mom was a single parent. Because for me, because my kid's father was not working, he was always in the house, and I'm the one working two, three, four jobs at a time. I'm always out of the house, and even when I'm home, I'm working. So I'm the more distant parent. And I always say this, my kids grew up closer to their father than to me because he was there. He was present, physically present in the house every single day. So they grew up with a closer relationship to him. Me, I was the one hustling, grinding, working hard. So they saw me as like the provider parent. And they would like, they would go to him with everything. They want to talk about something bothering them, they don't come to me, they go to him because he's the one that's there, that's just like that present parent. And I would always tell him that. I always said, like, despite everything, you're a good father, you were there. And it's after the split and I realized I never would have expected him to pull away from them the way he did after the split, because I always thought like he was the more present one, he was the one that they were more bonded to. And I had to think like the way he reacted after the split, where he was just able to detach himself. I had to wonder, okay, was he actually a good parent? Was he actually a present parent? Or is it just because he was unemployed, he had nothing to do, so he was just physically present in the house? He was just physically there. But looking back at it, I would get home from work and he would just be like sprawled out on the couch watching TV, smoking weed, or he would be like hanging out by the neighbors and stuff. And I'm thinking all the credit I gave him over the years for being present, he wasn't actually present. He was physically there, but he wasn't like mentoring, guiding, teaching. He was not like, how to put it, like a father presence. He was just a presence. And it took me a while to accept that because I always used to give him credit for being there until I realized, but you weren't really there. It's a lot. AC says, you did your part, Camille. Down the line, he will have that conversation with the kids if he's man enough to have it. I just try to stay out of whatever relationship they have with him. I don't ask them anything about him. If he calls once in a while to talk to them, I don't ask them what the conversation was about, nothing. I just like, I allow them to have whatever relationship. They are big enough. They don't need to run anything by me. And I don't want to be blamed for any breakdown in that, so I just stay out of it. AC says, I tried with my father, who's 61, and he stood me up yet again. Wow. I've cut all contact now, praying your children have a better outcome. I have that experience too, because so he would say, earlier this year, he said he's coming to take them to spend the Easter vacation with him. And they were looking out for him. They were open to it. He never showed up. Certain times he said, okay, he was coming for my older son's birthday. Never happened. And it's like, at a point you get angry, like stop making these promises, because then you get them hyped up, you get them, excited. Okay, you're coming, you're showing some interest, and then you don't show up. So yeah, I've dealt with all of that too. She's so sweet says stress is also a factor in pregnancy. And this could be part of it too, because they told me for the last one, when they did my blood pressure reading and stuff, it was through the roof. And they told me like monitor that stress levels and stuff. And I think a lot of it has to do with like, Lord, I don't even want to get into that because I'm going through stuff at work too. Apart from just the general like job insecurity thing, there's also the personalities. And when you feel like people are like undermining you or targeting you and stuff like that, I'm going through a lot of that too. And it has taken a toll on me. So it's like, I feel like all of that contributed to it. I honestly, honestly do. Sarah says, not trying to tell you how to parent. Be careful when he's around the children as well. Yeah, that is a real thing. We know what goes on in the world, and that is why I said, if this doesn't work out, I don't want anybody else in my life, because I can't go through this process again of having to, you know, introduce kids and get them accustomed to this person and stuff like that. I no. And it's like, it took a lot out of me to do it the first time. Because you never know what you're gonna get. Like, men could be, I'm not man bashing here, but it's just the reality. Men could be very unpredictable. And it's like, women get blamed when something goes wrong, because people like to say, well, you should have chosen a better man and you should have chosen more wisely and blah blah blah. We get blamed when a man doesn't turn out to be who we thought he was. But it's like, how do you know? You take a chance. It's like playing Russian roulette. You just like, somebody comes along, they seem nice, they present their best selves, and they rope you in, and there's nothing, no red flags for you to think like, okay, something could be wrong with this person. Like I told you, this guy came across very perfect, too perfect in the beginning. And it's like, you want to believe, okay, I can take a chance, and then something happens. And to me, I am always waiting for that something to happen. I'm very, very like paranoid. And yeah, I just like, I get it, because the world we live in, you can't trust anybody. I think if my kids were a lot younger too, I probably just would not have entertained the idea of being with anybody else. I can't imagine having, wow, I don't know. It's hard to be a single mother and trying to have a love life at the same time. AC says your ex could have sold doubles on the roadside. I know, right? Y'all, listen. So I could laugh about this now, but at the time it wasn't funny. So when the police came and they had to move him and stuff, and they were trying to get to the bottom of what caused this conflict, what's going on, let's talk to you. And I was basically telling them, listen, I'm tired. Mind you, let me just clear up something. So me and my ex physically split in December 2024, but we were split up for like a couple of years before that, and that's the part that he doesn't tell people. So we would have had a conversation a couple of years before that where I told him I do not want to be in the relationship anymore. I'm not happy in the relationship. And actually kicked him out of my bedroom. So he would sleep in the living room. He had like one of those like sponge, I can't remember, I don't know what I call it, but it's like something he would roll out, and he would sleep on that on the floor in the living room. And we had not shared a bedroom in a couple of years. We were like roommates in the house. There were months that would pass where we wouldn't even speak to each other. We passed each other straight in the house. And I was very, very uncomfortable, because it's like, okay, this is my house, this is my home. I pay the mortgage, everything is on my name. He contributed to nothing. I can't move on with my life because I can't kick him out on the streets. That's my kid's dad. I don't want to just put him out. But at the same time, how can I move on with my life when I have a man sleeping on the floor in my living room? And it was just a very untenable situation. So yes, when the whole situation happened, the police had to come and physically remove him. That happened in 2024, but we were broken up and not even sleeping in the same room for like 2 years before that. Anyways, so the police came and they were trying to get to the bottom of what was going on here. And I was explaining to them that situation, that I'm tired. I want to move on with my life. I have a man and he's sleeping on the floor in my living room for 2 years. I can't get rid of him. And I'm tired. I want to move on with my life. And I feel like I just want him out. So the police is asking him, like, so you just sleeping on a woman floor? Like, what you just do with your life? What's your purpose? I'm here, the police officer telling him, so you don't even work CPAP? Make my little CPAP walk by? It's funny, but it's not funny. I can laugh about it now, but at the time, it wasn't funny. So when you said he could have sold doubles, I remember the CPAP comment. The police officer said, "So you just jobless, sleeping on the floor in a woman house? You can't even walk CPAP dread." That was terrible. I don't know. It's not that I'm making fun of him. I just like I've been through a lot with that man. I've been through a lot with him. And he actually, one of the hurtful things that he's done is that, okay, so when we got together, I had enrolled to start my degree and I got pregnant. So I ended up dropping out. And after I had my first son, got pregnant again, back to back. So I had to put off like my educational aspirations for a couple of years while I had these babies. And he was the one that was working at the time and stuff and supporting the household. And then when the children started going to like preschool and stuff, I'm like, you know what? Okay, I can go back to school. But I was not working at the time. So he would actually help out with like transportation and stuff for me to get to school. And that was for about the first semester when I started my degree. I relied on him to help out with transportation and stuff while I was going to school. And then I started working. While I was going to school, I was working. I paid my own way through school, didn't have to rely on him anymore. He helped me out for that first semester. Y'all know, after the breakup, this man is going around telling people he sent me to school. That if it wasn't for him, I would not have a degree. I would not have accomplished anything that I've accomplished because he sent me to school. And he's telling people how ungrateful I am. The one semester of helping me out with transportation money to get to school turned into he sent me to school. And after that, I'm like, you see me, and man, no, all your man dangerous, boy. I have been through a lot with this guy. She's so sweet said, he's significantly older than you. You can't worry about him not having a plan for his own life. F him. And I wish I had thought like that. Like, if there's any young woman listening to this right now, learn from my mistakes, okay? I felt responsible for this man. I felt like, I don't know, love could have you doing crazy things. Like I said, I was 19 when I met him. He was 27. And I met him at a time in my life that it was just like a lot of turmoil. I didn't have a good relationship with my mother. And, you know, young girls, they just want to have their own way. And this guy came along and he had his own apartment. And I just moved out of my mother's house because I couldn't deal with her. And I went and just shack up with this man. So I felt like even the beginning of the relationship, it wasn't something where, you know, I fell head over heels in love and I ran off with this person. No, I just wanted to get away from my mother. And that's how the relationship started. But over the years, you know, you spend a lot of time with somebody, you start to care for them, you start to, you know, they become a part of your life. So it's not like I didn't care about him at some point, but it's just like, I feel like I carried him throughout life when I was basically very young myself. I had kids back to back at like 20 and 21. And from then, I've just been working, holding things down. And he was just along for the ride. And I feel like the best years of my life, my youth, when I'm supposed to be partying, when I'm supposed to be enjoying things and experiencing things, I was being a mother and a housewife and just carrying the weight of an entire family by myself while he just was along for the ride. One thing I will say though is I'm very, very glad that I didn't get married. We were together for 17 years and the topic of marriage came up so many times. Actually, his family, I felt like, were kind of pressuring us. They would be like, y'all are together for so long, just get married while you're not getting married. And I'm just like, something kept holding me back. I'm like, I'm not really into it. Why rush anything? It ain't broke, so why fix it? You know, like I would keep finding excuses to not take that step. And I am so glad I didn't, because it would have been a lot harder to get out of a marriage than to just walk away from a relationship. She's so sweet. Said, I hate that man so much. Who are we talking about? My ex? You don't even know this guy and you hate him. Listen, this is just my perspective and my side of the story. If you talk to him, I'm sure he would have a totally different side. I would be like this demon from hell, and then you might be thinking, wow, I hate her so much. So again, they say there's three sides to every story: your side, my side, and the truth. This is my side. He will have his side. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle because we are both going to be speaking from our perspective. Because, like I said, I try to be fair to him because even though we had that conversation where I told him I didn't want to be in the relationship, I kicked him out of my room. He was sleeping on the floor in the living room for a couple of years. I tried to see things from his perspective because it's like, okay, in my mind, we had broken up for like a couple of years. And I was just allowing him to stay here because he had nowhere else to go. But in his mind, somebody told me that too. In his mind, he's thinking he's still in the house. This is still his family. This is just a period of like hardship or arguments or whatever you want to call it in the relationship. But he's thinking we will make up because we've had arguments, we've had situations like that before, and we've made up. So in his head, he was probably thinking, okay, we're still together. We just going through some things right now. So from his perspective, he might genuinely feel like we were still a family. From my perspective, I was over it. So it's all a matter of perspective. Sabrina says I would have been resentful also. Yep. Yep, it was a lot. It was a lot. He was just there. And you know how I realized too, like I gave him too much credit for just being there? Because, okay, I look at my sons now. One is 17, one is 16. And like basic things that I feel like they should be able to do at that age, they can't do. And I now have to teach them. And I'm thinking to myself, but this is something, he was home with them every day, all day. This is something that he could have been teaching and influencing. So, okay, I am teaching my kids how to cook. So I will start them off in the kitchen with small things. Some days I don't feel like cooking, so I just tell them fend for themselves and they have to go organize dinner. And at first, they struggled. They didn't know how to turn on the stove. They didn't know how to do basic things. And I'm like, wow, at this age, I have to teach teenage boys how to do these simple things. And I'm thinking, but so when y'all were home at your father all this time, like what they were just in their rooms playing games, he would be downstairs watching TV. There was no actual like bonding or interaction going on. He literally was just there. And me in my head thinking, okay, I'm out, I'm working, I'm the one hustling, grinding, holding down everything. And I'm thinking to myself, he has things handled at home. I left them in good hands. So I'm comfortable knowing they're with their dad, not realizing he literally was just there. It's crazy. I have a lot of regret. And again, if anybody in a similar situation hearing this, take my advice. You see, kids, yes, we have to provide, but you have to nurture too. And it's like a delicate balance. You have to try to, I don't even know, because at the time I thought I was doing the right thing. If you asked me back then, I would tell you I was the perfect mother. I had things handled. I'm providing. They want for nothing. They go to the best schools. They have everything they need. And I'm thinking, I patted myself on the back because I'm like, yes, I have succeeded as a mother. And then when all this blew up and little things I'm noticing, like, okay, my kids can't turn on the stove. They don't know how to cook basic things. And I'm like, wow, I failed as a mother. So You have to find that balance between, yes, providing, bills have to be paid, but also being there in a nurturing way to teach your kids life skills and stuff like that. And I feel like that's one of the reasons, because like in hindsight, I know all those things now. And that's one of the reasons like I wouldn't mind having more children, because I feel like I'd be a better parent going forward, because I didn't have all these experiences and information with these two. But now that I do, I feel like I would be a better parent. And I always tell them that. I tell them, like, I feel like because I had them so young, I grew up with them when I was supposed to be raising them. I feel like we grew up together. So they're like my little homies. They're like my two little niggas. I was call them that. I call them that all the time. Y'all are just my little niggas, my little homies. I don't feel like we have like a mother son relationship. We more like friends in this kind of way, because I don't know. Maybe that's a weird thing. I just feel like I did not understand motherhood while I was being a mother to them. So we kind of just winged it. And I mean, well, they didn't turn out too bad. They just can't cook. They're a little lazy. I guess that's like a teenage boy thing. Like my kids don't do shit unless I tell them to. So I will have to tell them, take out the garbage, do the dishes, pass a broom in the house. When I tell them, they do it, no problem. But I feel like I shouldn't have to tell them, like, you all see things around the house to do, go do it. And that's something I'm trying to like train them out of now, because my worst fear and nightmare is that I send them out into the world and then they do to somebody else's daughter what their father did to me. I would feel like a complete failure as a mother if my children turned out like their father. So we're on course correction right now, where the things that I feel like I missed teaching them and guiding them through growing up, better late than never. So yeah. AC, you lie. He says I never knew such worthless man existed in Trinidad. No, 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 no. They exist all over Trinidad. This is not a unique story, you know. I have friends, like female friends, who tell me horror stories about their worthless men too. So I am not alone, okay? I am not alone at all. Man in Trinidad, worthless too bad. I hope you're a good one. I hope you're a good one. While you're bad talking the others, you better make sure your house in order. Sabrina says, glad you had your breaking point. Yeah, Gil. That breaking point, it take long to come, but it reach. I very long suffer, and I realized, that is what I've realized about myself. I do not give up on things very easily. I try and try and try until I just can't try anymore. And that's what happened with him. Worthless people in every country. Agreed. Agreed. Lyman 14 years is crazy. Now, let me just say that the man was just Lyman for 14 years. And because he didn't want to do anything. I feel like there was some depression, some self-esteem issues and stuff there. I don't feel like it was just, I don't know, I would like to think so, but I feel like when he lost his job, he just started feeling inadequate. He started pulling aside and just like smoking a lot and stuff. And I feel like something mentally went on. Like I don't think it's just he was just lazy. I'd hope not. I think he had some sort of mental break or something like that. Futon mattress. Yes, it was something like that. Yep. Samodian says, whoa, Camille, that was a lot. And that's just like the tip of the iceberg of what has been happening in my life over the past couple of years. Like, there's a lot. Um, I won't get into the details, but one of my sons is actually in therapy and stuff, stemming from a lot of these things. Um, yeah, we have been through a lot. Sabrina says relationships end years before the breakup. Yep. And my thing is like men act so surprised when it happens. Like we tell them, we give them signs. You like you scream from the rooftop sometimes like the things that you need to change, and they ignore it. And then when you finally break and you walk away, they act all surprised like they never saw it coming. That's what happened in my situation. Like, I kept telling you over and over and over what the problem was. We would have fights about it. We would have like whole cuss outs about it. But what he felt was that, okay, well, I was there for 17 years. She ain't going away. He never thought I would leave. So he got comfortable and he felt like, you know what? She could quarrel how much ever she wants. She could complain. She ain't going away. Sabrina says, what are doubles? How do I explain doubles? Doubles is a Trinidadian delicacy, okay? It is like, it's almost popular street food. If you come to Trinidad, you have to try a doubles, okay? It's like, how do you explain doubles to a non-Trini person? It is like a sandwich. If Trini people hear me describing this right now, it is like a sandwich, and it's like two pieces of like fried dough, and we call it bara. And there's like a sauce that you put in between the two pieces. It's made of chana. You all would probably call it chickpeas. And there's like different like savory sauces and stuff. So you can have like a sweet sauce. You can have like a chutney sauce, something like that, and that goes on the chana with your little pieces of fried dough. And yeah, it's like a sandwich, okay? That's the best I could describe it. It's a very, very popular street food. Somebody else said, oh gosh, the police and them, that is Trini people. I know, right? AC says it sounds like he was really holding you back from your potential. Yeah, I think I would have been a lot further in life if it wasn't for him, or if I actually had an equal partner who was helping out and contributing. We could have built together instead of me just building by myself. So I feel like I accomplished a lot in my life, but I would have accomplished a lot more if there was an equal partnership. Hey, JJ. Love King. You didn't know show up. It's been like 2 hours. He said he will be on colored people time when I said I was going live at about 7:30. This is not colored people time. I don't know what kind of time this is, but you are 2 hours late. You missed the whole live, okay? This is doing too much. This is crazy. She's so sweet, says, why didn't he send himself to school? I know, right? Like, if you sent me, send yourself or send somebody else. If you did it with me, then you could do it with somebody else. Make another me then. I know, right? This hit the nail on the head. Sabrina says he rescued you and you felt like you owed him. And I feel like that is a big reason of why I stayed so long, because when I met him, the situations were reversed. He was the one working, I was not. He was the one providing, holding down the family. He helped me when I started my degree. So I literally did feel like I owed him. But then it's like, okay, so you helped me out for a few months. I owe you the rest of my life for that. I held things down for 14 years. I feel like I repaid that debt and more by now. So I don't feel guilty about it anymore. But at the time, that's how I felt. I felt like he held things down when I had nothing. So now it's my turn. But then it's like, God damn, I didn't sign up for this forever. AC says a big heart back unemployed man. Listen, my dream right now, because I've been working since I was like 21 years old, never stopped. I've never been without a job. I've never wanted to be dependent on a man. Let's just get that clear. My grandmother raised me that you must always have your own. You can't be dependent on a man because today or tomorrow that man could leave you and find somebody else. He wants to be with somebody else, and what do you have to fall back on? And then it's like, I see women bragging sometimes that, their men take care of them, they don't have to work. And then I'm like, okay, but what happens if, not just if that man leaves, what happens if that man dies, something happens to him? You lost the person that provides for you, and you don't even have work experience to fall back on to be able to take care of yourself. That is scary to me. So that is something I never wanted to do. But you see, at this big age, if there's a sugar daddy somewhere out there who just wants to take care of me, DM me, okay? Send me a number. I'm tired. I've been working for a very long time. I just want to rest now, okay? I will cook and I will clean and I will perform the bedroom activities. just give me a princess life right now. I want to rest. I'm tired. Bougie says, are his family educated or accomplished? Nope. They are all pretty much the same. And actually, he did not finish school because, long story, he started school late. He didn't start like primary school and stuff at the correct age he's supposed to. And the story I heard was that so he would sell like nuts and snacks and stuff outside the school. And one day the principal came out and asked him why he not in school. And he just basically said, well, his parents didn't send him to school. And the principal said, no, that's not right. And she made some inquiries and she got him in the school. And at that time, he was like probably like around 10. So he did not have schooling for the greater part of his childhood. And so when you ask me that question about parents, that is how his parents set up his life. And to me, like, I felt a lot of sympathy for him too, because, you were a child, that wasn't your fault. But at a point, you have to take responsibility for yourself. You're an adult now. So you can't blame what happened in your childhood forever. At some point, you have to take responsibility for yourself and you take control of your own future. And it's like he's the type of person who would just be like, well, it's everybody else's fault. It's that person's fault and this person's fault. And he never just takes responsibility for himself. Love King says he sounds like a bum. Bums don't deserve grace. I get it, but remember, this is somebody I would have spent 17 years of my life with. So it's hard for me to see him as all negative. Even through all the negative stuff, there were some good times, there were some good memories and stuff. So I try not to paint him as totally bad. I agree. Somebody says they're seeing things from your perspective and telling the story, and then there's lying to make yourself look good to others. Sometimes I wonder, because this is somebody I thought I knew, it's hard for me to imagine that he would be deliberately telling lies. So I'm like, is it that he actually believes the things that he's saying? I prefer to believe that than to believe he's just spreading lies. Sabrina says, did he at least cook dinner? Sporadically. He could cook. He could cook, but he was kind of lazy in terms of that. So sometimes I would get home from work and I would still have to cook. Sometimes I would get home from work and the house is filthy. And this would sound bad, but I would be like, you know what? I'm working. I'm the one paying all the bills. I'm the one providing. I shouldn't have to clean too. So I would deliberately leave the house just like that, just to see how long it would take him before he got up and did something about it. And then after a while, when I realized like he's not doing anything, level cuss. We used to have a whole curse out about that because it's like, get up and do something. So I genuinely don't believe that the man was just lazy and worthless. I think it was like some sort of depression that just pulled him down where he just couldn't bring himself out of it. I genuinely believe it's something like that. I agree. Do not love anyone at the expense of yourself. Bougie says wait, what is that? He was not really holding up his part of the deal. I love my dad, but I never would have dated someone like him. He wasn't a great mate for my mom. And, because I have boys, I worry about that too. Like, this is the example of a man that they saw their entire lives. That's all they saw. So I worry, okay, are they going to think that this is what being a man is? Like, a woman is supposed to take care of everything, a woman is supposed to hold everything down, do all the cleaning, do all the cooking, and they just rock back and relax. Like, I worry that that's the mentality my children grew up with because that's what they saw their father doing. AC says they sound like typical teenage boys. I don't know, maybe I read too much into it because I feel like I shouldn't have to tell you something needs to be done. You see the garbage is full, take it out. I shouldn't have to come home and tell you to take out the garbage. Love King says you did the best you could given the lack of support. Don't let him being a bum make you question your motherhood. I don't know. I know I'm hard on myself sometimes. I think I did the best I could too. But I also feel like now that I know better, I could see the gaps where certain like certain things weren't fulfilled as a mother, but it wasn't deliberate. It was like I was just so consumed with providing, working, making sure like all the bills are taken care of. Like that was my main concern throughout my kids' entire life. When me and my kids started getting closer, where we actually started like learning more about each other and bonding and stuff, was during the pandemic when I had to work from home. So I was around more. And they actually told me that they said they felt like that period was when they actually got to know me. AC says, I'm a woman. Oh, there's a man in your picture. I thought this was a guy. I'm a woman trying to avoid worthless men like my father and uncle. My profile picture is Maurice Bishop from Grenada. Okay. Oh my goodness. Sabrina says he saw it coming. He just didn't believe you. Yeah, probably. Bougie says, show us a picture of doubles. All right, let me see if I can pull up a good looking picture because some people doubles just really look nasty. Yeah? So I had to find one that look good. Doubles. Wait, this person doubles looking like bake. Nah. No way. All right. This one look presentable. All right. I think I'll find a presentable picture. Let's see. All right. Now let me see if I remember how to share my screen on this thing. Why does do this, right? I forgot to know. if I click on something and the whole live end because I can't figure out how to share my screen. How do I do this? Oh, okay. So, all right. Share screen. I think it's sharing now. Yes, this is what a doubles looks like. Can't remember who it was who asked that question. Was it Sabrina? This is what a doubles looks like. Okay. So you see, I described it correctly. It is two. That's why it's called doubles, because it's two pieces of fried dough, which is the bara. And then there's the sauce, which is the chana or chickpeas. And then you have like other sauces. So this green thing is probably like shadow benny sauce. I see a little bit of pepper sauce here. And I think there's a whole recipe on this website too, if you want to learn how to make it, okay? So this is doubles. Also, so is my screen still sharing? All right, I'm gonna close that and share. All right, so this is what you will see when you just Google doubles, okay? Let's have some that not looking too presentable, right? Because what is this? What is this? This is not a double. This is not a doubles. I don't know what this is. This does not represent Trinidad and Tobago, okay? This is a more presentable doubles. This one looks nice. This doubles was raised in a two-parent household. This is a perfect doubles. I don't know what the hell this is. This is not doubles. This is bacon chana. What is this? Nah, some of these pictures getting me angry right now. What is this? They put in meat and doubles too? Papa, yo. All right, well, they send me down a rabbit hole. Ooh, this one looks nice. All right, this looks nice. So you get to see like the different variety of sauces. So I'm seeing some cucumbers there, a little shadow benny sauce, like some sort of sweet sauce. And that is what a doubles is. So thank you for joining my lesson on doubles, okay? You have learned what a doubles is today. And it tastes really good. It's like a kind of savory kind of flavor. Samodian said I did a good job explaining it, okay? So I'm proud of myself. I could actually eat a doubles right now, yeah, so they're making me hungry. Wow. He said he had a blunt break and laid out on the couch. Wow, for 2 hours. That's terrible. Ah. Love King says there's supposed to be a special kind of determination and grit that island men have. I can understand depression, but you can't let it neglect your family and obligations. I mean, I think I don't want to say I suffer with depression, but I feel like I experience depression from time to time. And like when you're in that mood, like there's nothing that could pull you out of it. I feel like that's the stage where you need to be medicated, where you need some sort, there's nothing, you can't just snap out of it. That's like telling somebody, be happy, just be happy. It isn't so easy to do. And I feel like he really had something like that going on with him. He did. He had a very rough start to life. Very, very rough. Love King says, oh, Camille. Teenage boys are going to need to be told what to do until they find a wife themselves. Well, I apologize in advance to any woman because I'm trying my best, okay, so that my son will not put you through hell. Okay, I am trying my best. Hey, Adelia. Ooh, she's pretty. AC says doubles and sliced pepper with an apple solo or bacon shack. You also when Speed came to Trinidad and they took him on this tour, foodie tour, eating a bunch of stuff. And I think like he ranked our food the best in all the Caribbean countries that he visited. Snaps fingers. Trini food is really in a league of its own. Bougie Barbie says, I love chickpeas and we have doubles in a few places in the US. They are good. I hope it's Trini people that's making doubles over there because I cannot imagine. I don't think anybody, I'm biased. I don't think any foreigner could make doubles, okay? It is just something that you have to be like born with Trini blood. Hey, Aqua. What is this? I do not know how to pronounce this. I am just going to say Aqua, okay? Hi, Aqua. Sabrina says, so you put it together to make a sandwich. Something like that, but it's not firm. Like you see, like bread is like, it's firm that you can hold it like in a solid kind of sandwich form. This is more like, how to put it? It's more like, it's not firm like a slice of bread. It's kind of tender and floppy, so you can't like hold it like a sandwich. So what you do is you hold it in your hand, like you take up one of the pieces of like the fried dough, the bara, and you kind of like grab some sauce with it and eat it. That's how it's eaten, but you can't hold it like a sandwich and like bite into it. Yes, man, tambran sauce. I know, right? I'm hungry too. What? Somebody had doubles with oxtail and shrimp? Doubles are supposed to be a vegetarian dish. Huh? This is blasphemy. That at this point, this is not a doubles. This is a roti. AC says, yes, I saw the speed tour. I'm Bajan and Barbados let ourselves down. They took him to KFC to jump over the counter and get yelled at by the manager. He jumped on the counter in Trinidad too. And everybody was like, whoa. If that was a Trinidadian person did that, no way. But they let him do it. I was actually glad that the Bajan people yelled at him, like, no, yes, you're famous. You're having a time and stuff, but still respect our place. That's not sanitary. Don't just come jumping up and down on places where people have to prepare food like a hooligan. Come on now. So yeah. Bougie says, I understand. I feel like nobody can make Southern cuisine unless you're an American Southerner. I know, right? So I understand. Actually, I saw online um a whole debate going on, I think this week or last week, where they had like two plates of food side by side. They had like soul food and Caribbean food, and they were like debating which one is better. And I'm like, they both look damn good. I would eat both and lick the plates. So that is a very unnecessary debate to have. AC says Barbados KFC is no joke. I watched a man get sprayed in the face with sanitizer by a worker during COVID. Wow. Y'all take y'all cleanliness very seriously over there. Oh my lord. But that tour was fun to watch though. Like it became like a little competition between the islands, but like a friendly competition. And like I got to see a lot about other islands that I knew nothing about. Like I think Saint Lucia, it was. Saint Lucia is that's the one where Chloe Bailey was at. I think it's Saint Lucia, right? That is a very beautiful country. Like their beaches, everything. Like if I could live anywhere else, I want to live in Saint Lucia. And I only got to see like the whole landscape of St. Lucia and experience what St. Lucia looks like and what it has to offer through watching his stream. It really is. St. Lucia is very, very beautiful and clean. Like I'm watching the surroundings and I'm like, wow, Trinidad, you will be walking on the street and there's bags of trash and stuff. It sounds bad, but it's the truth. And St. Lucia is just like clean. It's just clean. I would love to live there. Love King says the Europeans are in America for the World Cup and they're getting fat, Lord, smuggling ranch dressing in their luggage. Oh my word. You know, I am not into football at all. I'm seeing like everybody, like my boyfriend, he is obsessed. I see people on work, they have it playing on TV during the day, and then when somebody scores a goal, they hear them screaming out and stuff. And I'm like, what's all the hoopla about? I am not into football at all. So this whole World Cup thing, I think the only time I'm not into sports on a whole. The only time I watch is if there's a Trinidadian team playing, because I want to back them and I want to support. But other than that, I am not into sports and stuff at all. Bougie says that isn't fair. You can like both, but not everyone can cook both. That is a silly comparison. I would clean both plates. I know, right? And the two plates that they put side by side both looked like there's literally no way you could choose. Like I think one had like cornbread and um what's the other one? Collard greens. Like that's not Caribbean stuff. That is southern like US stuff. But the Caribbean one had like I think it was oxtail. Um, I can't remember. But a lot of people in the comments was dissing Caribbean macaroni pie because they said mac and cheese is like gooey and soft, and Caribbean macaroni pie is like a hard brick. I get it, but our macaroni pie, listen. If you never had a good macaroni pie, you wouldn't understand. AC says Trinidad 2006 World Cup. I remember the goal. We screamed, jumped on the couch, but it was offside. I remember this, the Rasta man. What was his name? Was Brent Sancho that scored the goal? I literally remembered the goal scoring, and everybody like, yes! And then we realized, oh shit. That was crazy. The World Cup, the Caribbean did not, this World Cup, the Caribbean did not do well. I feel Haiti and Morocco game was not entirely fair. I haven't watched a single game. I don't know what's going on. Ew. Yo, I'm here in a vehicle and I think my boyfriend just pulled up. So let me get off the internet. I've been on here for over 2 hours. So I am going. Let me check and see if that's really him. Yep, Ole, my man, come home, gone. Goodbye. Thanks for hanging out with me for a couple of hours. And like I said, I'll start like uploading more often. And y'all please support, share, like. I'll try to go live every once in a while. And yeah, that's it for me for now. Bye.